Hi, my name's Michael Kingston. I'm a lawyer, a senior associate at Clyde Co. I work in our insurance department, specialising in energy and marine, and also professional indemnity. And we also do. We're a law firm in the City of London, working closely with the insurance sector, but we also have offices around the world and are heavily involved in shipping and trade and commodities, amongst a number of other areas. We've just been through the biggest merger in British legal history with Barlow, Lydon, Gilbert, and are merging currently with some offices in Australia. My introduction to Clyde Co was facilitated by learning of by my involvement at London Irish, where I played rugby with the Wild Geese for a number of years, and prior to that with Ealing Rugby Club. And I learned of Clyde Co through London Irish, and have continued developing connections through London Irish and players that I played with over the last 13 years, which have been invaluable in my role here in the city in London. I found rugby and my connections through rugby, through Ealing and London Irish in particular, to be extremely helpful in the city in London, particularly in the insurance market, where a lot of rugby players have obtained jobs as particularly as brokers. I've got some very good friends who work in various companies, and together we network and facilitate introductions for each other, where the brokers introduce me to insurers who need claims dealt with. For example, at the moment, through a connection that I made in Ealing many years ago, I've currently got some work experience students working at Clyde Co. They have been introduced to me by the broker, and it's originated through rugby networking. No, I do think that there's a leaning, without a doubt, for rugby players to do well as business people, because my experience always, and rugby breeds camaraderie and team spirit. It's highly unusual for rugby players to be individualistic. I always well, the most important thing that it happens in other sports, but especially rugby, playing together is probably the most important thing in any rugby team, and these guys bring that mentality into the city. They're very genuine people, and I find that that they adapt to the workplace quite easily and get on, especially in the insurance market, with other like-minded people, because it's very much a community where people want to work together. There are other businesses where maybe it's that sort of characteristic is not as easy to manage, where people are a little bit more selfish, but by and large rugby guys are good guys. They want to do well, and they want to bring up the people around them, and they fit in very well indeed. One example in particular is a very good friend of mine who only recently joined the insurance market, Hugh Vivian, who I used to go to school with at Downside. We worked together. He's started working as a broker in the city, and he's done extraordinarily well for that very reason, because he's an extremely affable individual. He's stepped off a career of I suppose 14, 15, 16 years as a professional rugby player, but he's fitted into the business atmosphere in the city like a glove, and it's worked really well for him and for the rest of us who know him and people around him.